Hola, my name is Marissa Gutierrez, and this is my Language and Culture Contact presentation number 2. So I used a lot of the information from my peers and what they did to kind of figure out what I wanted to do for this presentation. So I did some on-the-job learning. I did an hour of Duolingo. I listened to some Spanish radio, and then I watched the first half of Instructions Not Included, which is a Spanish movie with the English subtitles on. So for my on-the-job training, and that is actually a picture of our room service menu because I work at a hospital, I really found that people appreciate when you try to speak with them in Spanish, and I would always at least give it a try. But if they were saying long sentences, or if they were on a specific diet and they didn't know what they could order, I'd have to pull in someone else to help me, and then I would ask them for information on how that would help me for next time. And I found out that there are a lot of important distinctions that you have to make. For example, some people can have regular sausage, but people on certain nights can only have turkey sausage. So you have to make sure that they know that they're going to be getting salchicha de pavo, the turkey sausage. Some other things, like I heard fresa, and I thought that they were saying strawberry, but I realized that they were doing frambuesa, which is raspberry, because we only have raspberry sherbet. And then the same thing with a lot of people would be on the clear liquid diet, so they could only have broth and not soup, and so it'd be caldo de pollo, so it'd be chicken broth, not chicken soup. Then I did an hour of Duolingo, and unfortunately there wasn't a lot of actual cultural interpretations that I could learn about. Most of it was just vocabulary, so things like araña, which is spider. As you see in the picture, mientras, I read while I eat. Aceite is oil, ajo is garlic, and sobre is on top of. Then I listened to an hour of Spanish radio, 100.3, on my way to school, and there were a lot of very similar music styles I found. There were songs that were very poppy or boy band sounding. There was even a song that was just someone singing with piano, and it made me think of Bruno Mars. So a lot of it was very similar, and I actually liked it a lot more than I expected. And it was interesting because there's some of that music that I like how it sounds, but I don't necessarily like the lyrics. And so for this, I could only pick out certain words, so I kind of liked it better because I could appreciate it just for the music without worrying about what they were talking about. But some of the things that I did pick up on were a lot of, bebe, a lot of bailar, or different conjugations of that word, a lot of dancing, And then for my last hour, I watched Instructions Not Included on Netflix, which I guess the actual Spanish title of it is No se aceptan devoluciones, which is no refunds accepted, so a little bit of a change there. And it's about a kid who's very scared, and so his dad tries to put him into traumatizing situations to help him get over his fears. And then he grows up, and he's, kind of a playboy, and he still has those fears, and he is especially afraid of commitment. And then a woman drops off a kid, his baby, who's like 1 year old, at his house, and just leaves it there. And it's about him going through this journey of commitment with the daughter and stepping up and accepting his fears. So some of the things that I learned were is everything that he was scared of, he personified as a wolf, or lobo. He said that he's afraid of commitment, el comprismo. He often says, no puedo, I can't do it, because he's too scared. They make reference to Angelina Jolie. When the baby shows up, they're like, why don't you just send it to Angelina Jolie? They see a note from the woman, and it says LA, and they're like, what's LA? And they think it's loving America. And then another vocabulary word was aroita. And it was very interesting to learn about a little bit about the culture with that as well. Like, even though he ends up moving to America, and he's afraid to go back to Mexico because, as you can see, the little girl is very pale, and he's afraid that if he tries to move back to Mexico, they're not going to let her cross the border. And even though he lives in America, he still sticks to Spanish speaking. And there's a lot of people, obviously in the movie, that or Spanish speaking with him, but the daughter ends up learning both. And when the mom comes back, she speaks English with the mom and then Spanish with the dad. And that's actually where I ended. That was then an hour, was when the mom comes back. So I will be finishing that next week, and stay tuned for my next Culture and Contact presentation for the ending of that movie. Thank you.